Hi there, my name is Rob van Hal and I hope you're all doing well. I'm looking forward to this lesson because it is a little different than the other videos regarding the complexity. Now this one is quite simple and straightforward. Still, I'm going to tell you all about the underlying theory and explanation of why and how I play what I play in this video. So, this lesson is about giving a 12-bar blues a makeover. Give it some cool shades and a leather jacket. For that I will take 3 blues rock progressions and make them stand out by adding some chops and licks to make it a little bit more virtuoso and, foremost, fun to play. So, let us begin. Now the first example is based on an idea by Loek van Knaap. It's a fine guitarist and teacher from the Netherlands, and I put a link in the description. Now the progression is an A, so no surprises there. I assume you know the structure of a blues progression, so I'm not going to elaborate on that too much, but I'm just showing you the structure here. It is built from the tonic, the subdominant and the dominant chord of a major or minor scale. Now for the shades. First we'll add the same riff that will sit between all the chords. The lick, chop or riff or whatever you want to call it comes from a cliché in the A minor pentatonic scale that every self-respecting guitarist knows. The actual lick is built on that idea. We just add the blue note and the minor third for that bluesy sound, and it sounds like this. Now here it is a little bit slower and pay attention to the picking technique. There are more options of course, but make it logical and consistent. Now we'll replace some chords of the standard blues progression with this lick that glues everything together. And it sounds already a whole lot juicier and cooler. Chords need a makeover too. Let's change the A power chord to a quick change from A dominant 7 to D major like this. And maybe make a variation with the D9 chord like this. Now we'll change the D power chord and E power chord both in the same way by changing it to a dominant 9 chord. And for that we'll play the upper structure of a D9 shape, the minor 7th C, the 9th E and the 5th A. And then the E9 contains the minor 7th D, the 9th F sharp and the 5th B. The D9 chord is alternated with the D6 chord, which is the same shape, only 2 frets higher, which is very convenient. It contains the root D, the major 3rd F sharp and the 6th B. The E9 chord is alternated with the E6 chord, again 2 frets higher, containing the notes E, the major 3rd G sharp and the 6th C sharp. Now, here is the whole thing with the inserted lick and the chord substitutions. Now the second example is a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of idea and it's a bit more modest. Still, it will get the attention you're craving for so desperately. Again, the key is A major and we'll use the A minor pentatonic scale to boost this progression to hell and back. But first things first. The lick will always be the same and it sits between each chord. The lick is fast and despite its legato nature, you still need a consistent picking technique to get that speed. Now, this is the lick, and here is the lick a little bit slower, and please watch how I pick the strings for a logical movement that really helps you to gain speed. Now the downstroke is always on the beat. It uses notes of the A minor pentatonic scale in open position with an addition of the blue note E flat, and that colors the lick and makes it a bit more, well, a bit more cheeky, I guess. Now if you want to experiment with other picking patterns, for instance only downstrokes, please do, just try to keep them consistent and logical. this could already be enough, but let's exaggerate this concept by adding some quick chord changes and color tones. Now the A chord becomes this. Now we've got a few colorful double stops with a major 6th, or call it the 13th, a minor 3rd and a minor 7th. Now the D chord becomes a bit of a minor 9 chord, again by using intervals, the 6th B, the minor 7th C, and the minor 3rd F and the 9th E. And the E chord gets the same quick change as in the previous chapter, the F9 to E7 sharp 9. By the way, that E7 sharp 9 chord is a so-called altered chord, which is the designation for a dominant chord with either an altered 5th, the sharp 5 or flat 5, an altered 9th, the sharp 9 or flat 9, or both altered 5th and 9th. And these chords have tons of tension, so they resolve very nice to the tonic. So the whole thing with the inserted lick and the color tones in the chords sound like this. Now the last one is hardly recognizable as a standard 12-bar blues because it is so far from the original due to all the augmentations. Now this adapted blues progression was initially intended as a bass guitar exercise. I changed it and adapted it for guitar, and the result is an awesome blues rock progression with some interesting technical challenges. Not too weird. First lick is made up from the notes of the E dominant 7th chord, the E, G sharp and B, and the minor 7th D. The G is bent with a so-called micro bend that leans towards a G sharp, but don't bend it all the way to the G sharp, but let it nag a bit, like this. After this we play a minor 3rd interval E-G that is enhanced with a so-called upper mordent, or upper mordant. You make a fast hammer-on and pull off from G to G sharp and back to the G again, like this. Now the whole idea is then copied to a string lower for the A chord in bar 5 and 6. In bar 7 and 8, the riff for the E chord leads straight forward to the bar chord in bar 9 and 10. Then comes the best part of the progression in my opinion. Over the E dominant 7 chord, the intervals and triplets with a descending bass line on that 5th string. Now the 3rd intervals at the end of the progression either lead to the B7 chord for a turnaround or to the E7 sharp 9, yes, there is this again, to end the progression with a ton of tension that really doesn't resolve. The whole pimped blues progression sounds like this. Now, as you can see, these are a lot of ways to make a blues progression more interesting and to give it a blunt and cool character with all those chops, licks, substitutions and riffs that augment this common 12-bar blues. Now, you could even combine some ideas to create whole new variations. And the ideas are simple and straightforward, and it's easy to understand. Nothing complex or advanced in these concepts. So I hope you can use this to create your own virtuoso versions of the traditional and obvious 12-bar blues progressions, or take it 10 steps further. Next time we'll dive into the more complex quartal arpeggios for some very interesting sounds that are quite different from what we've done here. I see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see, and for some more in-depth studying, go to my Patreon page or my ebook store. Bye!